Welcome to the Marketing Revolution podcast. This is the underground movement of savage marketers from all over the world. We are not Fortune 500 companies. We are real entrepreneurs with real businesses that have one major thing in mind: to set goals and devour them daily. Because we understand that everyone wants to eat, but only savage marketers are willing to do the hunt. Now let's get this revolution started. Hey, what's up, everybody? John Hiley here with the Marketing Revolution podcast and the Marketing Savage Facebook group. You guys know that that's part of my marketing strategy. I'm always mentioning the Facebook group because, I know that I know in the future, this podcast is blowing up. This is a podcast that literally, I started with the first 4 to 5 episodes, and then I left it abandoned for about a year and a half because I have 3 other podcasts, and I am reviving this bitch by doing a podcast each and every day. And I want to let all of you know that we have a Facebook group that is popping, giveaways, all kinds of good shit. So y'all love marketing, then you need to be over there in the Marketing Savage Facebook group. If you love me, you need to leave me a review. If you don't like me, then just, scurry on. So anyhow, guys, I want to talk to you a little bit about something that I'm sure many of you have heard me talk about in the past, but I don't think I've ever really done a specific episode just on this. And I want to stress the importance of this. And I'm going to be going a little bit woo-woo on you guys. And if you guys don't know what that means, that's the dude that's doing yoga and shit and talking energy and wearing that all white outfit all day long while he's trying to stay in his Tai Chi and his Zen and all that kind of shit. But I don't really want you guys to think of it like that, because I'm here to tell you there's just something about this. And what I'm going to talk about today is making sure that every transaction in business that you do, that as you do that transaction with another human being, that you put the thought of increase in it. And I'll tell you why. I mean, this may sound like a simple concept, but I want you to think about all the times that you're doing a transaction with individuals. Do you feel that you're taking from them? Do you feel that you're just taking something from them? Now, you may be giving them all kinds of amazing shit that they want. You may know this inside, that what you're selling is a very valuable product that will bring much value to their life. But during that transaction, during that moment where they're paying you, you're receiving and you're giving, do you have a feeling that you're putting increase into the world? It's very important that you structure transactions this way. I mean, it's just like what guys, look, Tony Robbins talks about this a lot. Literally 90% of what we say is with our body language and our energy. Only 10% of it is what comes out of our mouth. And one of the reasons why is because speaking and talking is a way that people can miscommunicate and lie. So we have subconsciously actually tapped into, whether you're doing it or not, you've tapped into this. We've subconsciously tapped into this thing where we can feel the value that we receive from other people based on their body language, their energy, what they put into it, the way that they feel when they deliver it to us. It's incredible. I'm telling you guys, if you need to sit down, and before you bill a client or customer, or before you go into anything transactional, meaning anything like a sales call, or when you're obviously marketing to folks, okay? So whether you're doing your sales, whether you're marketing, or whether you're billing and giving a client and customer invoice, you need to take a moment and realize the increase of value that you've added to that individual's life. You need to feel that in your heart, in your mind, and in your soul before you step into these transactional situations. because I'm telling you what, every time, guys, and that's probably why, like, people say that, like, dude, like, I can't, people like watch me and they say, man, I can't believe like how high your closing rate is. It's because I believe in the value that I'm offering the other person at such a level that it radiates from everything that I'm doing, everything that I'm saying, my body language, the way I feel about it, my energy coming into any conversation or any transaction is radiating the value that I'm bringing to the table. Unfortunately, in society, we get stuck in this idea or this mindset that you have to take, or that you are taking something to be on the receiving end, that you have to take for that. There is no taking. There's only exchange of value. And you need to build your business in such a way that you add value to the world, meaning that the money that they give you for this thing is less than what you give them in return. Okay? That's when you step into a higher level of being, and you go from somebody who takes, and this could be just at an energy level. You go from somebody who takes to somebody who consciously delivers value and becomes an individual that is a builder of man. I should say men and women, but is a builder. You are giving life to the world. People that come in contact with you will get increase just by association. Not only should you be walking in this, I call it walking in this faith, you should be doing it in casual conversations, in casual encounters. You should have that increase, that feeling of increase radiating from you at a level that when you come in contact with people, they might not really fully understand what their what the vibe that's coming from you, but they'll feel it. And because that's what we're all searching for. The reason why you're listening to this podcast is that you hope for increase. You're not doing it to waste your time. You're not doing it for decrease, to decrease the value of your life. You're doing this to increase the value of yourself that would increase the value of your life. When you begin feeling that and radiating that, there's nothing that can stop you. Every transaction will be a building block that you're helping your fellow man take themselves to the next level and get that same increase. You'll be delivering that to the world. And I don't care if you're selling a stick of gum, a piece of candy, if you're selling life insurance. It's boring, right? It literally, anything that you're stepping into, if you're a fucking divorce attorney, understand that you have value in this world, that you are seeking increase for the people that you associate with and the people that you help. If you're a doctor, it's probably the most important area to exercise this would be in medicine. You know, I mean, who wants to be around a doctor that's always telling you like, oh man, this might go wrong, or this might happen to you, or that might go wrong over and over again. It's like the whole placebo effect where people think that they have, or not a placebo effect. What is that called? Where people think that they have a disease, an imaginary illness, and the effects on their body is literally just as bad or even worse than the actual illness. People want to be around other people that are walking in an increase mindset and delivering that to the world. And to be honest with you guys, I'm doing 75 hard. I spend a good portion of while I'm doing 75 hard, my first workout, which is a weighted vest walk, and it's about 3 miles. I spend a good portion of that. What I do is I do 3 laps around kind of like I live in a cul-de-sac, but if you walk out of the cul-de-sac, we've got like a little neighborhood you walk through, and then you get onto a walking trail and you kind of come back around the walking trail and you'll kind of walk behind my house. And then as you come back around, you'll go to the front back to my cul-de-sac. So if I walk that 3 times, it's crazy. It's exactly 45 minutes. And when I do my very first lap, the very first thing that I do is I go into a mode of gratitude. I don't look at my phone, guys, unless I'm looking like visualizing some of my well, hold on, I'll get to that. So the very first thing I do is I'll go around and do my very first lap. So I got 3 laps. I'll do that just focusing on gratitude, just looking at the trees, taking in my neighborhood that I lived in, that, the neighborhood that I once dreamed of living in, that I'm living in now. And I'm feeling all of that stuff, feeling the environment, breathing in the air, and it's dark. So I get up at 4 a.m. So it's like pitch black out for like half of the walk. But during that time, man, I got like a street light down the road and it kind of changes colors as I'm walking. I'm trying to appreciate everything around me at a level. I'm trying to fall into gratitude during that very first, would be equivalent of like 22 minutes or something like that, or 20 minutes. Or wait, about 18 minutes. The second lap that I go around, I will turn my phone on where I've got some of the dreams that I actually have, that I have saved. So I got a specific vehicle that I'm hoping to purchase. I'm not hoping, that I know that I'm going to purchase. I could go purchase it now, but I'm tying it into like a really big goal right now, which makes it a motivator. So I'll look at this and I'll feel it. And in fact, I'll even go to the point to where I feel ownership over it. Like I feel that it's already mine. And I'll be thankful for it that's already given to me, that I already own it, that it's already mine, that this is already coming into my life. Just because I desire it, it'll be here. And I go into that. And I don't do that for like any of that. I don't even believe in the law of attraction. I believe there's some elements of it that are very good. But I believe the work element that they left out of it is very bad. You know what I mean? Because you got so many people think that they're just going to sit on the couch and visualize shit, and it's just going to come to them. Ideally, visualization is only to fill your heart and your soul with the motivation that it takes to articulate a plan to get that of the thing. So my third lap, every morning, I listen to The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles. And there's always something that hits me. It's a very small book. I mean, it's only, I think the whole audio book is only about an hour and a half. So, but there's always something, and the messages are so simple, but there's always something that hits me, causing me to think and re-articulate that message in my mind. And I can feel, as I'm listening to it, every little bit of scarcity, every little bit of worry, every little bit of any type of anxiety, any type of, anything on a daily basis that comes over our hearts, our minds, and our souls and pulls us towards scarcity gets stripped out of I strip it out of myself during this 3-step process. So each and every day, which is the most important thing, because when people come in contact with me, you're at a level where you're shining your light, guys. When you step into this mindset and this framework, you imagine your light as being a big torch. And this is something that I may have talked about, but it's something that's worth talking about again. I learned from Mike Kaminsky in this energy training that I'm doing with him, is that you literally, think of your light that you're shining as a torch, and think about your light being this blazing torch. When you step into that mindset of gratitude, gratefulness, your torch is blazing, man. I mean, it's on fire. So you're going to come in contact with people, and it's going to be a transactional thing. And maybe their fire is not blazing right now. Maybe they just got a tiny little fire that's barely flickering. But when they come in contact with you, you have the opportunity to take them to the next level. You have the opportunity to take this blazing torch and touch their tiny little torch and light that bitch on fire. And they're going to want to be and come closer to that. So they're going to want to be transactional with you. When you shine your light, when you become that blazing torch, and guys, this is not anything egotistical. This is just stepping into your best self on a daily basis. Now, are there times when I get beat down by the end of the day and fucked up shit happens and stuff like that? Yeah. But I got the opportunity every day to reset that bitch and try to maintain it and try to hold on to that flame and try to fucking roll that motherfucking torch through my entire day. My goal is to walk that bitch through my entire day, have that motherfucker blazing and literally radiating increase, radiating abundance through my heart and through my soul. Give that to the world. Put that bitch on my wall blazing. And when I wake up in the morning, pick it up again. And the motherfucker's still blazing. Okay. I'm going to close it out like this. I said this was going to be a short podcast. This is actually kind of long for my podcast. But I'm going to close it out with this, guys. So there's a lot of times, and I've made this mistake in the past, we'll start to hit a low in life. And we'll fall back on these principles. We'll start treating ourselves different. We'll start spending time on on self-motivation, self-fulfillment. We'll start spending time on ourselves, developing our character, becoming the best that we can possibly be. So what'll happen is we'll get out of our rut, right? So we'll come out of our rut and then we'll start to say, well, hey, I don't need that anymore. That's how you repeat the cycle. It's the same as the cycle that people will repeat that gain a lot of weight. They'll lose a lot of weight. And then they'll feel good, and then they'll think, hey, man, I can go back to, eating this, or little by little, I can go back to doing this. And next thing you know, they start going back to the bad habits that got them there in the first place. And they become overweight again. It's the exact same thing with shining your light on the world, walking in increase. You have to step into that on a daily basis. You have to create a framework in your life that will continuously deliver these results day in and day out, whether you need them or not. There's some days where, I don't feel like working out, but I know that it's going to give me the result that I want. So anyhow, guys, I'll leave the podcast there. And just remember, y'all, walk in increase. Let it radiate from you and think about that during every transaction. Even if you got to take 5 minutes before you jump on a sales call, if you got to take 5 minutes before you send out an invoice, if you got to literally get in the mindset that what you're doing, what you're giving to the world is that of increase, that you're a builder of life, and you'll watch your shit go to the next level.